Razors, clothing, dry cleaning, these are just 3 of the goods and services that women pay more for than men. It's been dubbed the pink tax because, short of the higher price and color, the products seem to be the same. And there's federal legislation that would make the practice illegal. Janice Fedor, Associate Professor of Marketing and Business Management at the Elms Colleges, joined me in the studio to discuss the so-called pink tax.
Earlier in the year, I started hearing a lot about this phrase. I teach gender and diversity management at Elms College every fall. So these types of issues come up. But my husband is a financial advisor, and we have 3 daughters. So we tend to talk about things like this a lot. Like, why are the girl toys, more expensive than the boy toys and things like that?
So you can see in your own household, you've got pink and blue products, very gender specific, and you're paying more for one group as opposed to the other group.
Yes.
And so, interestingly, Burger King, the national food chain, recently launched an advertising campaign that's called, they're advertising their chicken fries.
Right.
And the chicken fries, I think, are $1.69.
Yeah.
But if you want the special pink packaging, you can get chick fries for $3.09. What did you think when they took this approach?
I thought that was a very creative way for Burger King to bring awareness to this issue, to the pink tax issue. And apparently, so they had women or a couple would go up, and the guy would order the fries, and they'd give him the chick fries, or give him the fries in a plain box and $1.69, like you said. And then she orders the same thing, and then the price is higher in a different colored packaging. And they filmed people's reactions, like, this is outrageous. But they don't realize that is what's happening every day when they go to the drugstore and maybe buy women's razors are more than men's razors. And unless there's some special feature to the razor, which most of the time there isn't, it's just a razor and it does the same thing. Right. But yet it's pink, and we're paying $4.99 for the package, and then the men's razor was $1.99 or something. So
why do you think that people haven't been outraged to this point, or haven't really brought it up as a concept?
Because as consumers, we shop by habit, we get brand loyal, we look for our favorite products, and then if it works, we just keep going to the store and buying it again and again. Especially women who are in some cases extremely brand loyal to their cosmetics, to their hair care products, a lot of the Pink Tax Repeal Act focuses on consumer goods. Like the toothbrush, shampoo, dry cleaning, things like that. And that's an area where women tend to be very brand loyal. I found this, I'm going to keep using it, it works for my hair, whatever. And they buy it, no questions asked. Meanwhile, in the next aisle over, they could be getting almost the same shampoo in a different brand, same chemical makeup, for a third less or something, or a third of the price or something, and they don't realize it.
Yeah.
We're creatures of habit that way, which is very dangerous.
So you mentioned dry cleaning, and that's one that's always driven me crazy.
Yes.
I've even tried to get around it. I've sent my boyfriend in with my dry cleaning and his, and tried to see if he could pass it off.
Yes.
Didn't work, unfortunately.
Yes.
But you did mention the Pink Tax Repeal Act, which has gone to the House.
Yes.
It was on the floor, introduced in April. And basically what this would do is give states' attorney generals the power to say, hey, companies are charging different prices here.
Right.
What do you think of that approach to give the state's attorney general that power?
I think it's the right thing to do, but we have to be very careful that we're comparing apples to apples. Like I mentioned with the razors, that might be a good example of a product that does exactly the same thing. But in the case of clothing, we have to be very careful about that. One of the examples in the law was little girls' clothing costs 4% more than little boys' clothing. Well, as the mother of 3 daughters, I can tell you, the vast majority of little girl clothing is very embellished. It has a lot of detail. It maybe has more colors into it, whereas the little boy clothing is maybe just more plain utilitarian. So it doesn't cost the same amount of time and labor to make the plainer clothing as it does clothing with more detail. So it is going to cost more. So we have to be very careful that when we say we're going to enforce this law, that we're actually comparing apples to apples.
In terms of why you think this is coming up now, it was interesting when I was doing research for this segment, I noticed on the internet there's sort of like ebbs and flows going back years where people are talking about this in a variety of ways. As I said, the legislation was introduced in April. Why do you think that it's taken so long to get us to this point?
I think because of the internet, we have increasing transparency in everything. You can look up whatever you want now. And so as consumers, we have more power to look up information and compare prices. So I think that it's easier to gather the data to make the case for the pink tax in other areas. The other part of the pink tax was car repairs, other goods and services. So I think that it's just easier to, because we have the internet and technology, it's easier to gather data to make your case for things like this.
I can hear someone at home saying, well, why not just buy the blue stuff then? If you're paying more for pink razors, why not buy the blue ones?
Exactly. I think that as consumers, we have to stop ourselves and say, okay, I'm not just going to buy this brand because that's what I've always bought. I'm going to take the time to compare prices, and if that means, going into the next aisle or to a different store or whatever, take the time to compare prices. And if there is a difference between the male and female product, ask yourself if that extra feature that you might be paying for, is it worth it? And if not, buy the man's version.
I even went so far as to try, my dad's a plastics engineer.
Yes.
I tried to find out if actually pink plastic costs more. Unfortunately, no answer yet. Maybe an update coming soon. Just to see if maybe there is an actual difference.
Right.
But I wanted to talk about some of the numbers too. So a lot of what we're talking about now came out of a 2015 study that the New York Department of Consumer Affairs did, and it's called Cradle to Cane, and it looks at the costs of these products.
Right.
And I was really interested to see that this not only happens to women when you're thinking about razors and shaving cream and things like that, but younger children and even into your older years, into the elder care population.
Yes.
And what they found is that 42% of the time, women's products cost more.
Right.
And on balance, 18% of the time, men do pay more for this, that, or the other thing. But I want to put this in the context of the gender wage gap. Because if you're paying more 42% of the time, and then that math works out to basically you're paying 7% more for a variety of things, but then you have to take the gender wage gap into account.
Exactly.
So then what does that mean?
It's actually, well, the articles will tell you it's a double whammy. It's actually a triple whammy.
In what way?
Because women make less money now, and we pay more for products, for goods and services, but we also live longer. So it actually is a triple whammy. I know, and a lot of people don't factor that in. Women live an average of, I think it's 7 years beyond men on average. And so we actually need that extra money because we're paying for ourselves for more, for living longer. So it is actually a triple whammy. And I think in your statistics also, women pay an average of about $1,300 per year.
Over the course
of the year, give or take. And then that works out to about $100,000 over our lifetime.
So that's a lot
of money. Significant amount of money.
So one more statistic I want us to look at. The Institute for Women's Policy Research says that the gender pay gap will catch up eventually. It'll be 2059 before we get there. So, 40 or so years. Just hang on, ladies. So. What do you think when you hear that?
I think we can do better than that. We have the information. We know what's happening. We need to do better than that.